Well, the Karnataka High Court has reversed the disproportionate assets case against former Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalithaa. All charges against the AIADMK chief have been set aside in the 66 crore rupees case. It's the verdict that the AIADMK was waiting and watching for with bated breath. And as soon as the High Court pronounced its acquittal for Jayalalithaa in Bengaluru, celebrations erupted in Chennai. AIADMK cadre rejoiced as Jayalalithaa and her aides were let off the hook. Now this effectively paves the way for Jayalalitha's return at the helm of affairs in Tamil Nadu. Members of Parliament from Jayalalitha's party celebrated the verdict on the floor of the House. Simultaneously, celebrations were spread across the capital to Bengaluru and the party headquarters in Chennai. Minutes after the verdict, sitting Tamil Nadu Chief Minister O. Paneerselvam paid a visit to Jayalalithaa. Now, according to sources, Jayalalithaa could be sworn back as the Chief Minister as early as the 17th of May.
Today, the judgment in the appeal was posted at exactly 11 o'clock. As earlier announced, the learned judge sat in the court and pronounced a judgment that all the accused are acquitted and the appeals filed by them have been allowed and the prosecution case stand dismissed. Now, from this moment, there is no impediment for Madam Jayalalithaa to assume her position, rightful position as a Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu.
The prosecution has written very satisfactory evidence to prove the charges against all the accused. And the evidence mainly consisted of documentary evidence. And coupled with that, the trial judge who has discussed the evidence in great detail has accepted that evidence. When that is so, and has recorded a judgment of conviction. Now, as against that, how the High Court has reversed that order.
It's not a unusual thing for us because we have cases where we have won, we have cases which we have lost. So if this is lost, there is an appeal. She lost in the Sessions Court, she's gone on appeal and got herself thing. Now let's see what happens in further appeal. So I think when you are in a democratic situation, you have to accept these twists and turns in court cases. We have to study it to find out where the judge has relied on, because he has to give an argument. But certainly in view of what the Supreme Court had said, I think an appeal is very desirable because we can't let this go at this stage.
You must be wondering why there's so much silence outside Jayalalitha's house. Well, we have a team from Coimbatore who's got something special for Jayalalithaa on this auspicious day for AIADMK. Mr. Jairam, you've come from Coimbatore, and what special you have?
தர்மத்தின் வாழ்வதனை சூதுகவும் மீண்டும் தர்மமே வெல்லும் என்ற வாக்கிற்கிணங்க மாண்புமிகு மக்களுடைய முதல்வர் அம்மாவிற்கு கிடைத்த விடுதலை ஒட்டுமொத்த தமிழக மக்களுக்கு கிடைத்த விடுதலையாகும். இதை அனைத்து இந்திய அண்ணா திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகத்தினர் கோயம்புத்தூரிலிருந்து விமர்சையாக கொண்டாடி கொண்டிருக்கின்றோம்.
AIADMK MPs are celebrating inside the parliament premises and they are all raising slogans. Let's have a word with them. Ma'am, what do you have to say on this verdict?
Yes, it is the verdict for the brave, it is the verdict for the good, it is the verdict for the everlasting Queen who is going to rule Tamil Nadu forever. She will be the Chief Minister.
So how are you celebrating? How are you celebrating? Having sweets?
Thank you.
So you can see how happy these MPs are, and there's distribution of sweets inside Parliament House, and look at the way they are celebrating. And
நிரந்தர முதலமைச்சர் தமிழகத்தின் நிரந்தர முதலமைச்சர் புரட்சி தலைவி நீதி வென்றது, தர்மம் வென்றது, இறையருள் வென்றது. புரட்சி தலைவி அம்மா.
The major fillip for the AIADMK, which was in suspended animation, but now clearly after this verdict they have their say, and that is why they are celebrating inside the parliament. With camera person Pinaki Sen, Arthur Khan in Delhi for Headlines Today.
Editor South T.S. Sudhir is now joining us from outside Poise Garden. Sudhir, a political resurrection there for J. Jayalalithaa. Is she now going to be ending her self-imposed exile? Is she likely to speak to the media today?
Well, speaking to the media is not yet confirmed, but she's likely to make some kind of a public appearance. Here you can see the whole crowd of AIDMK supporters who have assembled here in large numbers. In fact, after about 11:30, 12 o'clock, when it was very clear that she has been acquitted by the court, the numbers have only swelled. A large number of AIDMK supporters here dancing, bursting firecrackers, distributing sweets. So in a sense, a day of celebrations, because there was tension in the air in the morning when we spoke, because they were a little apprehensive on which way the verdict in the Karnataka High Court could go. But once the judge in the Karnataka High Court, Justice Kumaraswamy, delivered his verdict, I'm told, in just 13 seconds, there was jubilation here because she was acquitted. All the properties which have been seized are to be returned. So in a sense, a grand comeback for Jayalalithaa, and she will be sworn in as the next Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. In fact, the first visitor within 5 minutes of the verdict coming out was the present Chief Minister O. Paneerselvam. He is likely to resign today, which is just a formality. We are also told that either later this evening or tomorrow there would be a meeting of the legislature party of the AIDMK where Jayalalithaa will be formally elected as the new leader of the AIDMK legislature party, and her swearing in ceremony and her appointment as the next Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, just a formality, but a huge shot in the arm. But as far as the DMK is concerned, it would look like that the Rising Sun party has suffered a solar eclipse. The DMK was pinning its hopes on the verdict, on an adverse verdict for Jayalalithaa today, because that would have put them ahead in the race as far as the Tamil Nadu Assembly elections are concerned. Right. But now Jayalalithaa and the AIDMK would be able to go to the people saying that they are a clean party led by a clean leader, while the DMK will have the 2G sword, Damocles sword of 2G case still hanging on its head.
And since September last year, the administration seems to have come to a standstill there virtually because of Jayalalithaa not being in the Chief Minister's seat. Are we likely to see a forward movement now on some pending decisions, Sudhir?
In fact, a large number of projects and foundation stones and inaugurations are actually pending, like the metro rail, for instance, in Chennai, like the investors forum, which was in fact cancelled twice because obviously O. Paneerselvam did not want to be seen as presiding over something like that. In fact, he does not even occupy the Chief Minister's chair and does not like to be referred as the CM of Tamil Nadu. In fact, a large number of projects, in fact, many Amma canteens, many public transport buses which have been bought but not yet inaugurated, all of them waiting for Jayalalithaa. So, in all likelihood, once she takes over as Chief Minister, a lot of ribbon cutting actually awaits Jayalalithaa. She will have to inaugurate a large number of projects, and that will be seen and projected by the AIDMK as Jayalalitha's gift to the people of Tamil Nadu, and that would hold them in good stead ahead of the assembly elections which are due in summer next year.
Sudhir, it appears that Jayalalitha's friend turned foe, who brought so much of trouble for her, Subramaniam Swamy, doesn't seem to have given up. He spoke to the media saying that of course there is victory and defeat in legal cases in courts, but the motive is to keep going on and on after a person like Jayalalithaa and to actually have some sort of justice, there is what he says. So in that view, what is Jayalalitha's camp then thinking?
Well, 19 years back, Subramanian Swamy was a person when he was a Janata Party leader who filed that case against Jayalalithaa. And 19 years is a long time in politics. Just in September last year, we saw her sent to jail for 4 years and fined 100 crore rupees by the special court in Bengaluru. And today, the Karnataka High Court has completely reversed it, saying that she's acquitted of all charges and all the properties which were seized will also have to be returned. So in that sense, a huge U-turn as far as Jayalalitha's fortunes are concerned. And as far as Subramanian Swamy is concerned, of course, the DMK and the other people who have been opposed to Jayalalithaa in this particular case will go in appeal first before the Karnataka High Court, later to the Supreme Court. But as far as the AIDMK and Jayalalithaa is concerned, they are all set to go to the people and trumpet the leader's return as the next Chief Minister, as someone who has been cleared as not guilty by the High Court of Karnataka. So as far as they are concerned, they are now going to pitch the battle in the People's Court, and that's where it's going to be extremely difficult and of course very interesting in the political theatre of Tamil Nadu.
Sudhir, many thanks for getting us all those details from Poes Garden.